Hello everyone, I am Samarth and today I'll be talking about our work on correlated multi-arm bandits with the latent random source. This is a joint work with my advisors Gauri Joshi and Osman Yang. Let's get started with a quick discussion on classical multi-arm bandits. In the classical multi-arm bandit problem, a player is faced with k arms. At each round, the player picks one of the k arms and receives a random reward corresponding to that arm. Each arm has a different reward distribution which is not known to the player. The goal of the player here is to maximize the cumulative reward earned across a total of capital T. The goal of maximizing cumulative reward is in turn equivalent to minimizing cumulative regret, a notion which is popular in the bandit literature. The regret could be thought of as the loss incurred upon pulling the suboptimal arm. The multi-arm bandit formulation has proven to be useful in several application settings. One such setting is the recommendation system, where you want to decide which movie to advertise to a population. The movies could be thought of as the arms in the bandit problem, and at each time step, a user comes in and you show one of the movie ads to the user and receive a reward. This reward could be in the form of a click or the time that the user spends on the system. The, the multi-arm bandit formulation is also useful for the purposes of performing clinical trials. We have these different drugs, which are potential treatments for the coronavirus, but we are not sure yet. These could be thought of as the arms in the bandit problem. Over here, we want to test the drugs out carefully in a sequential fashion so as to minimize regret while finding the best treatment as quickly as possible. In order to tackle this problem, one needs to carefully balance the exploration and exploitation trade-off, which is to explore if certain drugs are helpful and exploit the seemingly drugs to minimize the number of losses due to the disease. Several such exploration algorithms are known for the multi-arm bandit algorithm. Some of the popular ones are UCB, Thompson sampling, and KLUCB. These algorithms are online in nature and ensure that each of the k-1 suboptimal arms are only pulled order of log t times, and hence we have a regret that scales logarithmically in t. In turn, there are lower bounds showing that the regret cannot be improved further. The classical multi-arm bandit setting implicitly assumes that the reward corresponding to different arms are independent. However, if you consider the example of advertising, rewards are likely to be correlated because movies of similar genre or cast might generate similar rewards. Similarly, the response to different drugs might also be correlated because they might have common components among them. Motivated by this, people have studied several variants of the multi-arm bandit problem. One such variant, which is very popular for the ad recommendation problem, is the contextual bandit problem. In the contextual bandit problem, the goal is to provide personalized recommendation. A user comes in and the player is allowed to see their context features such as the age, income, occupation, etc. Based on these features, the contextual bandit algorithms try to recommend a movie which is well suited to their context features theta. So in a way, it tries to learn a mapping between context features and the arm that they will like the most. The mapping between contextual features and the expected reward for different movies is not known here. In our work, the goal is different. We aim to provide a single global recommendation for a population whose demographics are unknown. In contrast to contextual bandits, we study a multi-arm bandit setting where we don't get to see the contextual features of the incoming users. However, we know how different type of users react to different movies. For instance, a child is likely to enjoy the Disney movie Aladdin, whereas it is unlikely that Joker will appeal to the small kids. One might wonder how these reward mappings are known in practice. These could be known from controlled user studies for different type of users or from contextual information available from a previous campaign. Putting this together, we now formulate our correlated multi-arm bandit problem with a latent random source X. In our formulation, We pull a particular arm k at round t and receive a reward gk of xt, where xt is an IID realization of x. The probability distribution of x is unknown, whereas the reward mappings gk of x are known to the player. The goal is to maximize expected cumulative reward, which is equivalent to minimizing the expected cumulative regret. Note that in this setting, the random source x is not restricted to being a discrete random variable. It can be a continuous random variable or even a random vector. Additionally, we place no restrictions on the functions gk. While we discuss the model settings where reward functions are deterministic, the algorithms and results extend to the case where only upper and lower bounds on gk are known, which makes our formulation more applicable. An interesting thing to note is that our formulation is general enough to capture the classical MAB setting in itself. In particular, if x is a k-dimensional vector and gk only depends on xk, then it covers the classical multi-arm bandit problem. In that case, our proposed algorithm reduces to just vanilla UCB or Thompson sampling. Our proposed algorithm has 3 key steps. In step 1, we identify the arm that has been pulled the most number of times. Then we find the set of empirically competitive arms with respect to this arm. This results in us obtaining a subset of the original set of the arms. The notion of empirical competitiveness will become clear later when we go through an example. After step 2, our algorithm uses any classical bandit algorithm on the set of these competitive arms. Let's consider an example. In this example, we have 3 arms and the random variable x can take 5 different values. The reward functions gk of x are known and illustrated on the slide. What we don't get to see are the individual realizations of x and the distribution of the random variable x. Depending on what the distribution of x is, different arms can be optimal. For instance, in this particular case, arm 2 is optimal. However, if x has a distribution skewed towards 2 and 3, then arm 1 turns out to be the optimal arm. The algorithm does not know this beforehand and tries to figure it out gradually. In the first step of the algorithm, we identify the arm that has been pulled the maximum number of times so far. For instance, in this case, we identify arm 1. We do so because this will asymptotically be the optimal arm k star. We now look at all the samples of arm 1 obtained till round 3 and try to evaluate the pseudo rewards of other arms. For each sample, we call pseudo reward as the maximum possible reward for other arms. For instance, if we receive a reward of 3 from arm 1, maximum possible reward achievable from arm 2 is 2 and from arm 3 is 3. Hence, the pseudo reward of arm 2 is 2 and pseudo reward of arm 3 is 3. Similarly, when we receive a reward of 1.5 from arm 1, we notice that the maximum possible reward from arm 2 is 3 and maximum possible reward of arm 3 is 3. We now take the empirical average of the pseudo rewards for arm 2 and 3. This results in empirical pseudo rewards of 2.33 for arm 2 and an empirical pseudo reward of 3 for arm 3. We notice that the empirical pseudo reward of arm 2 is smaller than the empirical mean of arm 1. Upon this observation, it seems that arm 2 might be suboptimal, and hence we call it empirically non-competitive for this particular round. The remaining set of arms are labeled as empirically competitive. The third step of the algorithm plays a classical multi-arm bandit algorithm over the set of empirically competitive arms. If one uses UCB, then it corresponds to choosing the arm with the maximum UCB index. In the next round, we do it all over again. Note that we do not permanently eliminate non-competitive arms. The empirical competitive set can change across iterations. We now talk about the notion of competitive arms, which is useful for to discuss our results. An arm is said to be competitive if it is empirically competitive as t goes to infinity, which is to say that if expected pseudo reward of an arm k is greater than or equal to the expected reward of the optimal arm, then arm k is competitive. We denote the number of competitive arms as c. This number is always less than or equal to c, k, and can in fact be much smaller than k in practical settings. Our regret analysis demonstrates that competitive suboptimal arms are pulled only order log t times, whereas the non-competitive arms are pulled only order 1 times. Due to this, we have a regret that scales as c minus 1 order log t. In situations where c turns out to be 1, our algorithms achieve bounded regret. Note that this is a significant improvement over classical bandit algorithms. Those algorithms pull each suboptimal arm order log t times and hence incur a regret scaling as k minus 1 order log t. We also evaluate lower bound on regret. It shows that the logarithmic regret is unavoidable whenever c is greater than 1. When c is 1, our algorithm achieves bounded regret. It demonstrates that our algorithms achieve order optimal regret in the correlated MAB setting studied over here. We now illustrate our simulation results. Suppose we have 3 arms, as shown in the figure. Corresponding to different probability distributions, the value of C varies. In case 1, we have C is equal to 1. In case 2, we have C equal to 2. And in case 3, we have C is equal to 3. We see that when C is equal to 1, our algorithm achieves bounded regret. When C is equal to 2, only one of the arms is pulled order log t times, due to which there is a regret improvement over UCBC. And when C is equal to 3, the performance of our algorithm is comparable to that of UCB because both the arms are pulled order log t times. To summarize our algorithm, it proceeds in 3 steps. Identify the arm that is pulled the most number of times. In step 2, we evaluate pseudo rewards of other arms correspond with respect to the arm that is pulled the most number of times and evaluate the set of empirically competitive arms. Amongst the set of empirically competitive arms, we now play any classical multi-arm bandit algorithm. While we discuss the model setting where reward functions are deterministic, the algorithms and results extend to the case where only upper and lower bound on GK are known. This is because our algorithm is functional as long as there is a possibility to evaluate pseudo rewards. It is in fact applicable even in settings where there is no latent random source. In order for our algorithm to operate, we only need pseudo rewards, which is a guess on maximum possible reward for arm L upon observing a reward R from a particular arm. As long as this pseudo reward is an upper bound on conditional expected reward, the algorithm and upper bound results still hold true. This increases the applicability of our algorithms. For instance, if these arms correspond to different treatment mechanisms for a virus, then the effectiveness of these treatment mechanisms is likely to be correlated as different drugs might have some similar or contrasting components. In this scenario, pseudo rewards can be known through domain knowledge. For instance, an experienced doctor might be able to tell us a loose upper bound on the chances that drug 2 will be effective given that drug 1 was shown to not be ineffective. These pseudo rewards can now be fed into a proposed algorithm to perform sequential clinical trials. More details about this setting are available in the extended version of our paper, which is listed at the bottom of the slide. To summarize, we study a new multi-arm bandit model where rewards corresponding to different arms are correlated through a latent random source. We design an approach that leads to reduction in effective number of arms as only the competitive suboptimal arms are pulled order log t times, while other suboptimal arms are pulled only order 1 time. There can be situations where C is 1, in which case our proposed algorithms achieve bounded regret. Thanks for listening. Feel free to contact us with any questions that you may have.